Hi everyone, this is Anna Hill, CPA, and I'm here today to talk to you about the importance of budgeting and money mindset. And this is a topic that's really important. You can read the entire blog post on our website, accountingwewillgo.com. Also, if you would like to get the free download and be the first to be notified of our early bird pricing for our course, you can go there, or you can go to amzaccountingsimplified.com. Okay, so let's get started. What I want to talk to you about is the blog post on our site and ways that you can kind of overcome money difficulties in your personal and business finances. And they're all related. The purpose of your business should be to meet your personal financial goals, so you definitely need to know what those are. If you feel like you've struggled with this, which a lot of people have, it's really important to stop and think, okay, I'm going to do it differently from now on. From this point forward, it's going to be different. And I have a few steps you can go through to get there. And this is what I want to talk to you about. The first step is you need to admit that you're human and forgive yourself for your financial mistakes. Beating ourselves up about mistakes we've made in the past doesn't do any good. Everybody's done them. Everyone's made mistakes. Some are bigger and a little bit more difficult to overcome, and some are no big deal, and you probably have a little bit of both. But admit that you're human and forgive yourself for your financial mistakes. Remember, we all have a natural resistance to those icky feelings, which is why we turn to avoidance. Instead, shift your thinking to a place of diagnosis and understanding. This is what a budget's for. A budget is a tool, not a trap. So get out of the mindset that you've made mistakes and there's nothing you can do. Think about doing this process as something positive. The next thing you need to do, and I'm going to scroll up, is you need to understand your money mindset. And this is really, really important and kind of a pet topic of mine. Let's talk about what money mindset is in the first place. Let me scroll down a little bit. Money mindset is a set of beliefs established in childhood about money. In fact, Inc. magazine defines money mindset is, and I love this, the overriding attitude that you have about your finances. It drives how you make key financial decisions every day, and it can have a big impact on your ability to achieve your goals. If you change your mindset about money, you tend to make better choices about how to overcome challenges, which sounds pretty easy, but it actually takes some practice. And there are several lies associated with the poor money mindset, and I'm not going to read all of them. You can read them on our blog post, again, at accountingwewillgo.com. But a few of them that I hear regularly from e-commerce sellers is hard work equals success. The only way to truly be successful is to work extremely hard. And I just don't believe this. I think hard work is important, honorable, but remember there's a difference between being busy and being productive. So keep that in mind. Another one I hear a lot is if only, the if only lie. If I made more money, this would be easier. If only I had more, help, more hours in the day, the if only lie. And the other one that goes along with that is the tomorrow lie. I'll start later, but first I need to. So keep in mind these are things that indicate that you may need to adjust your money mindset. These are limiting beliefs. And limiting beliefs are something you believe to be true about yourself, about others, or about the world that limits you in some way. Limiting beliefs could be poisoning your potential as an entrepreneur. So examine whether or not you've had any of these limiting beliefs and you're telling yourself any of these lies. And a side note, my favorite book about limiting beliefs, I talk about it all the time, is The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, and I highly recommend it. And you can read more about that online on our website, or you can Google the book. I think you'll really get a lot out of it. Okay. So now let's talk about another thing that I think causes people issues in their business, and then also as a result in their personal finances. What you need to do, the third step you need to consider, is stop comparing yourself to others. And think about this, especially in the social media context. A lot of people like to post their sales online, and that's a really exciting thing. Wow, look what so-and-so is doing. We've all done it. We've all seen it, a post with a screenshot. What's so funny about these posts is inevitably someone says, yeah, but what's your net? And then people think, oh, there's eye rolling and someone's got to rain on the parade. But that's actually a really good point. Because it isn't about what you are earning as far as sales revenue. It's about the bottom line. But remember, sales are a driver. If you don't have high sales, you're not going to have a good opportunity for a good high bottom line. But it doesn't necessarily, high sales don't necessarily mean that you have a good solid bottom line. And I'll tell you why. I've worked with clients and e-commerce sellers for a long time. Many of the clients that I have done really well, and then they try to up their sales number thinking that the bottom line, what they get to keep in their pocket, is going to mirror that. And I would say probably 60% of the time that doesn't happen, and they're so disappointed. I have one client and they had sales of, 2.4 million, I think. And they wanted to get to 3 million in sales, which is amazing. And so this client did everything they needed to. They bought more inventory. They got more help. And what ended up happening when we compared year 1, where they had less than 3 million, and year 2, where they did actually exceed the 3 million, the bottom line was actually less in year 2. And the reason was they had to hire more help, which cost more money. They also had higher prep fees because they had more inventory. Also, the seller was so excited to meet this goal of exceeding 3 million in sales, they were really aggressive with the repricer, and they also had more inventory to keep up with. So what ended up happening was they shaved the margins too close. So they had to get more debt to buy more inventory, hire more people. They had a more complicated operation system. They had to process more inventory, so their prep fees were higher. They had to manage more inventory with this repricer, and they ended up not making as much money as if they had just mastered and kept things as is. So I just want you to keep that in mind. It's great to compare, but it's not always what you think. Okay, and then let's talk about step 4. This is a really important one that I like to talk about also, and it's defining your why. As I said earlier, the goal of your business should be to meet your personal financial goals. For some people, this means paying down debt. For other people, this means savings. Other people, this means paying for a trip, a vacation, a wedding, a car, whatever it is. I have one client, and her whole goal is to pay for piano lessons for her daughter. So it doesn't have to be some big, high, lofty why. But keep that in mind. It's really important that you know your why. It's more important than you realize. Your why is the purpose, the cause, or belief that inspires you. Your goal is the outcome. So these two are a little bit different, and let me use an example, the why versus the outcome. If you want to lose weight, you can say, I want to lose weight, and then you're going to measure that with the numbers on the scale. But what you really want to do is you want to say, I want to live a healthy life. I want to move more and eat less. That's the why, the healthy life. The outcome is the number on the scale will go down. So I want you to think about it. If your goal is to make money, you're going to have a tougher time unless your why is driving that. I have a list of some companies that have a why that is not financially related, and they're very successful. So here's an example. Facebook, their why is to give people the power to share and make the world more open and connected. So whether you like Facebook or not is not the point of it. That's their why. By having that why, what ended up happening was they've made a lot of money. So I want you to think about your why in that manner. And let me give you another example. Sony is a company who has a why that is not financially, is not geared on a financial bottom line basis. Their why is to be a company that inspires and fulfills your curiosity. That's their why. If they meet that why, they're going to make money. And one more, Google. Their why is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. None of these companies had the why of making money. Their why was this other thing. So think about how you can define your why not in a to make more money manner, but in a little bit different way. And the reason is because it will give you power. When you find something you're truly passionate, you'll prioritize it more. Sometimes it's hard to say, I feel passionate about making more money. I mean, yes, we want to, but if your why is, I want to be able to have more choices for my family, including being able to take a vacation or, send a kid to college, that's a lot more motivating than just, I need to make money. If you don't have your why defined, you're going to have a tougher time achieving your goals. I have in the blog post a TED Talk that's really great, and it talks about the fact that we all have a right to have a fulfilled life, and that fulfilled life meets our why, and that having a fulfilled life is a right. It's not a privilege. Everyone should have that. So once you have all of those things kind of processed and you've given it some deep thought, the next step is the thing that everyone really wants to focus on first, which I think should be the last thing, because this one thing will fall into place once you've gone through the other steps, is to get organized. This is probably the easiest one. It's the one people want to focus on, but I think it's a little bit less important than the groundwork that you need to lay that I just went through. So when you read through this post, and I'll share it at the bottom of this Facebook Live, I have some steps about how you can get organized, specific action you can take. I have everything from gathering receipts and getting organized, how to store your financial documents long term, what a monthly routine is you might want to consider. I have steps to that. And then once you have all of that done, you're going to have a much better framework to tackle the upcoming months and next year. And then the final step I want you to consider is create a budget. And a budget is a really important thing that you need to be able to do so that you can manage and grow your business. So you might want to say, okay, a budget isn't necessarily just sales, but something like budget for rent if you have a warehouse. Do you need a warehouse? Do you want to get stuff out of your home your garage or living room, or maybe not. Another example could be an operational budget for training and education. I think it's really important to continue to educate yourself. So start thinking about what classes would I like to take, or where do I feel weak, or, what can I learn so that I can be a more stronger leader and entrepreneur in my business and role model for those who work around me. And we actually have a free business budget that you can download. It's right here. You just need to go to this link and download it, and we have several different types of revenue and expenses that you can consider. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but I think if you don't have a budget, then you're not going to be able to really know if you did well or not. You don't want things to come out unexpected for you that you haven't planned for. Insurance is another one. You want a budget for that. So go ahead and start shopping around, again, courses you want to take, or maybe there's some conferences you want to go to. So start thinking about those things and download our spreadsheet here. You can get it, and then you can start filling it in. You can have a monthly budget, a quarterly budget, a yearly budget. I recommend doing a yearly one to start out with, and then just kind of check in as time goes by to see if you're on base. So here on the budget, we've got revenue for all the various platforms that you may be selling on: Amazon, eBay, Shopify, Etsy, Poshmark, merch, other, whatever. Then we have the expenses: cost of goods sold, prep fees, PayPal, other fees. And then here's some operating expenses that you might want to consider budgeting for: advertising and marketing, bank and credit card fees, business meals, consulting fees, contractors. I'm not going to read them all. You get the point. Legal and professional fees. If you think you want to change entity structure next year, maybe start thinking about what that will cost. Tax and license, training, education, all the things we just talked about. Also, these categories in your budget are how I recommend you consider setting up your accounting. That's really important to have some structure and organization. If you want to get our free chart of accounts and our Quickbooks Quickstart guide, you can go to our website or the amzaccountingsimplified.com to pick it up. And then let's go through the final step real quick, is showing gratitude. And this is my favorite thing. It's so important to be grateful for our health, the people around us, the wonderful opportunity we have to make money without having a desk job to go to, or that enhances that for our family and for ourselves. And I like this. The secret to using money as the tool it was meant to be is to show gratitude. Feelings of gratitude will help you avoid impulse purchases and spending on instant gratification. You work very hard for your money, and it's important to respect it. So I hope these tips and pointers help you, and please take the time to read this post in detail, because I think it's really going to give you some good things to consider as you approach the end of the year and into next year. And again, go to amzaccountingsimplified.com to get our free Quickstart guide. It's a mouthful, QBO Quickstart guide. That has a chart of accounts and a guide and a video that helps you review what you already have in place, or you can set one up from scratch. And then if you want to go to our website, accountingwewillgo.com, you can pick up this blog post that I'm talking about. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you.